Hey guys, Ellie here. Today, I want to make a quick video about my sweet ducks right here. These are my two beautiful new girls. We named them Lovie and Dovie. I actually don't know which one is which. I need to figure that out right now. Let's see if we can notice any glaring differences between these two. Let me look closely right here. Eye color. I'm trying to see if they have different eye colors or anything. They look identical. How would anyone tell them apart? I have no idea where to even begin. That one is blue eyes. That one does too. So we can't go on eye color. Is there anything else we can go off of? Wilbur, you're making a move away from me. I was enjoying getting so close to him. I don't know, guys. I don't have any, I don't know. Yeah, I don't even have a clue how to tell them apart from one another. But I made a video last week of, maybe 2 weeks ago, of us bringing them in. They needed a new home because they were getting into fights at their old home. And the people we got them from, we got 2 geese from them before, so they're trustworthy, they're reliable, they're good animal owners. They just wanted to do what's best for them. And so we were so happy and willing to take them in. They are some beautiful girls. They have cute little personalities. They're so dainty and sweet. They always go everywhere together, and so I hope they can become big established characters on the farm, kind of like Pablo was. I'm going to work with them, make sure I'm going to try to feed them mealworms from the hand and stuff like that, and just to do little things to help socialize them. I want them to be really special characters like Pablo was. I know there will never be another Pablo exactly the way that he was, but there's no reason Lovie and Dovie can't carve out their own path either. If y'all notice any differences and can tell me which one should be which, then please let me know, because I'm struggling right now. They look the exact same. They look literally identical. Even the white on the nose, they even have like the same amount of white. There's like a stripe on that one's beak. That might be it. I think one of them has like a stripe pattern on its beak. It's like that white color then goes to pinkish red again. And that one has like almost all white on the beak. That's how we're going to tell them apart, I think. But man, everything is so similar with them too. Is there anything else y'all are seeing that I don't? That's the only thing I can really tell. It's like a stripe, kind of like a barber pole. That white and red pattern on that one. And then this one is just more so all white on the beak. So that's how we're going to do it. Let's say Lovie will be the barber pole one, and then Dovie is going to be just all white beak one. But they let you get really close right here. Let me try to pet them. Let me see if I can actually pet them right now. There's a few things I do want to address regarding, hi Tallulah. A few things I do want to address regarding our birds that I might be interested to know. A few things I've seen in the comments. Hey baby, how close will you let me get, huh? This is pretty close. This is good, baby. I'm proud. Hey sweetie, can I pat you? Okay, this is about as close as we can get. We'll work on that. But a few things. First off, a lot of people in my few videos with them asked me things like, Ellie, I thought that you rehomed all your ducks and your geese because they were contaminating the pond. Why are you getting more? Isn't that contradicting or counteracting what you did before? And I would say not exactly. Definitely, actually not at all. The reason why is because we had a huge overpopulation of ducks and geese, like a outrageous number. And it wasn't entirely our fault. You know, we had the original geese that we inherited, which was good, but then some of our ducks hatched 17 babies, like outrageous numbers of ducklings, and so all those things together just led to a huge overpopulation. And so we asked my dad and Jamie if they wanted the original geese, because there was like 15 of them. We knew we needed to move most of our ducks and geese, and so we asked my dad and Jamie if they wanted their original ones, and I guess they don't really have the ideal pond or big enough area for them, so they said it was okay if we rehomed them somewhere else. We ended up rehoming them to Meg's brother-in-law. He has a humongous pond Their pond is about as big as this pasture in total, like the pure acreage, the square, the whole pond is about that big, maybe even bigger than that. And so they're having a good old time over there. Maybe someday I'll get him to send some clips of how they're doing over there. But we rehomed them over there, about 15 geese or so. And then the majority of the ducks, I can't even begin to count how many ducks we rehomed. And so now that we've downsized so many, the pond, it looks beautiful. It looks really, really good and blue. So with it being so downsized, we kept a few of our new generation of geese, I call them. We got the Tito's over there, Aunt Lydia. We had 2 Chinese geese with the funny little beaks, but one of them hatched a little gosling, and now we have a 3rd Chinese goose. I think it's that one right there. That would be Sushi. And then Sagwa, that's Sagwa right there, I think. I can hardly tell them all apart because they've grown up to look so similar. So we have our new generation of geese. Of course, we kept ones like Adam or Steve. King Robbie's around here somewhere. A few of these we weren't able to catch and rehome them. But long story short, guys, we downsized so many. And when Lovie and Dovie needed a new home, it really wasn't a burden or wasn't difficult at all to just bring in 2 more, because we were at like 40 something birds. And so when we probably got 40 to down to about 15 or 16, and then going from 16 to 18 is nothing. So there's no reason to worry about the pond being recontaminated or anything like that. I'm not even so sure if the pond actually was like fully contaminated. I know that after Okie Dokie passed, people were worried about, and even we were worried about different things that could have led to him getting sick and whatnot. And so we just tried to take every possible precaution. Y'all already know how we put up the red feeders so that the animals could be eating off of the ground away from parasites. The pond, while it wasn't contaminated necessarily, from what we could tell, it did smell kind of bad because, you know, all the birds using the bathroom and stuff. So we just wanted to, that's the reason we wanted to downsize in the first place, to make sure that we could reduce as much risk as possible of pigs or of goats taking a drink from it and getting, you know, parasites or getting worms, whatever lives in the water. But after we read Okie Dokie's autopsy results anyways, we're almost certain that what he got wasn't from the pond. I think it was from the ground. And unfortunately, just where we live, there isn't a whole lot you can do about that. We do know, I talked about this many times before, even though there isn't a whole lot you can do about the ground, there is one huge thing we can do to notice the signs a little bit earlier. And we've talked about it 1,000 times since it happened, was checking the eyes, making sure that they have that bright red color, the goats and the other animals' eyelids. We've been doing that religiously ever since it happened, checking eyelids so often. And it really has helped us get a good jump on if any animal is starting to feel down, or even if they're not feeling down and then we notice their eyes are pale, we'll keep a close eye on them, maybe give them a quick treatment to just make sure that they don't begin to start going down. It's a great thing that I wish I knew sooner, but can't change that. At least I know it now. And then the other thing, oh, it drives me bananas when I see comments, people mentioning about Pablo. Can y'all believe there's some people out there that actually believe that Pablo flew away and went to a different home because Meg and I wouldn't let him in the house? I miss our sweet Pablo. But people are gonna sit there with a straight face and tell me that he got depressed because we didn't let him in the house. First of all, I shouldn't even dignify that with a response, but I just seen it enough times. I need to say it at least once. Pablo wasn't a house duck. He didn't live in the house. He went in once in a while with my dad and Jamie for coffee and stuff like that, and then he would come into our house too. We let him in the house before to hang out and visit and whatnot, but he wasn't a house duck. It wasn't like he lived in the house and then we banished him to living outside. Pablo was an outside bird. Pablo had his friends. Pablo lived in the pond. He lived, you know, in the front yard. He was an outdoor animal. So there was nothing to be depressed about. He was an outside bird. He loved being outside. Adam and Steve, some of the girls that he had, he was a dad. The girls that he made babies with, they were all outside too. And so you know, that's, maybe it helps people cope to try to think that that's what happened. I guess I get it. Maybe I shouldn't take it so personally. But when people attack me or Meg specifically for it, implying that it was our fault or that we didn't love them, it's hard not to take it personally when people say that. I hope y'all can understand where I'm coming from. And for two, the day that Pablo that he left or went missing, it was after that terrible windstorm, and we had 3 ducks that went missing. It was Pablo and 2 of his other friends. If it was just him, then it'd be one thing about maybe like he just wanted to go somewhere different. But if him and 2 of his best friends that hang out in the same area, because at that time they weren't hanging out as much over here, they were hanging out over there by that barn. You see where it says the big I'm a Survivor M? They were hanging out over there in that area for the past week or 2 before that terrible windstorm happened. And so the 3 ducks that were hanging out over there frequently, they were the ones that all 3 of them just disappeared that day. And so obviously my prediction is that they got displaced, or they migrated with the wind, so to speak. Animals will do that a lot. And so it was kind of odd that, you know, Pablo living here for so long would fly away and would be displaced or go somewhere different. But that's the best possible conclusion that I can draw from if all 3 of them that hang out in the same area just vanished that one day. I don't think it was a predator. I don't think a predator would have gotten 3 ducks and not left a single trace of a feather or anything behind. So I think they migrated with the wind, or they got displaced. Whether it was intentional or not, I'm not sure. But, you know, it happens. I also don't even know the circumstances for how Pablo came to be over here in the first place. I'd have to go back and find old videos, ask my dad or Jake or somebody. I'm sure that y'all could tell me in the comments how Pablo came to be here. But one thing I've learned is that a lot of the animals that we've had that appeared here under mysterious circumstances, kind of like that Diablo duck, like Hope the pigeon, I'm trying to think of other ones that we've had. There's been a lot of different Dominguez, that weird flamingo looking bird that came that one time. We just had a lot of animals that have shown up and appeared mysteriously out of nowhere, and a lot of them, unfortunately, that appear mysteriously also disappear mysteriously. And so it's happened enough times living on the farm that, in my opinion, I think that they simply are migratory animals. They like to migrate, and we're just one stop or one resting point as a part of their grand tour. That's what I truly think from the bottom of my heart. I think it is that if an animal comes and they show up and they might stay for a year or 6 months or whatever, they've probably done that 1,000 times, showed up to a bunch of other places and stayed for a few months just before going on their merry way. Sojourners, if you will, however you say that word, nomads. They're living a nomadic lifestyle. And so this is Lovie right here. She is so sweet. I think Lovie gets closer than Dovie does. Hi, Lovie. Hi, sweetie. But no, guys, that I just wanted to address that real quick. It should give some of you peace of mind, and then hopefully it can rebuke a few of the silly naysayers that I see. But no, that's kind of the whole bird situation. I'm sure y'all wanted to know. Yeah, I've seen a lot of you having questions about it, especially about why we got 2 new ones. So hopefully that can clarify some stuff. I apologize for these guys. Guys, these are the Tito's right here. This is Tito and Tito. These are the other 2 we got from the neighbors that gave us Lovie and Dovie. I don't know, though. I want to wrap this up. They're hurting my ears. I'm sure they're hurting y'all's too. But all right, guys. With all that said, I hope y'all enjoyed. Y'all be sure to let me know in the comments what kind of stuff you guys want to see. I hope you all have an incredibly blessed rest of your day. And as I always say, your boy Ellie out.